Alright guys, so to no surprise, the streaming platform Twitch has now banned the use of Zionist as a coded word or a slur now. It's become a slur for Jews and Israelis. Initially, it meant like, according to them, it meant that, you know, if you're a Zionist, you believe the Jews deserve a home state, yada, yada, yada. Now it's become a slur. It's become a slur. It's pretty much, you know, saying the N-word to Jews now. So that's how it's viewed in Twitch world. Same thing that they did with anti-Semitism. You know, when first it was against a group of individuals that migrated to Europe and were oppressed and discriminated against for being from the Levantine region, and now it's being used for literally any context. Speaking out against Israeli war crimes is now considered anti-Semite. So, you know, they keep switching the goalpost. You know, same old story, same old trick bag, guys. So the move by Twitch, an Amazon-owned platform with more than 240 million active users, comes after increased scrutiny, including from a prominent lawmaker who recently sent company executives a letter in which he alleged that the platform emboldens anti-Semitism. Now, let's get into this clip here. So they're blaming all of this on one particular Twitch streamer. I think you guys could guess who it is. But let's get into a fresh to figure out to say.
This comes from Mario Newfall.
Right,
Twitch bans Zionist as a slur under hate policy. Twitch announced it will now ban the use of the term Zionist when it's used to attack or demean individuals based on their background or religious beliefs. The platform clarified that reference to Zionist or Zionism as a political movement, whether critical or supportive, remain allowed under its rules. Twitch says the change aims to prevent coded hate speech while preserving open discussion about political ideologies. Source, Twitch. So, and I want to read this one more time. It says the platform clarified that it references to Zionist or Zionism as a political movement, whether critical or supportive, remain allowed under its rules. Now, here's the problem with that, though. Who's going to dictate if it's being used in a political sense or in a derogatory sense? That, my friends, is $1 million question, right?
It's going to be their team. Their discretion again.
Yep. It's going to be their discretion. Now, you want to talk about this, Fresh, as far as like, do we got the clip? Because this all is being blamed on one Twitch streamer right now. As you guys know, Hassan has felt quite a bit of pressure from this. And everyone is blaming him for this situation because the ADL basically, and I have a whole tweet on this actually. If we can open up my page, I think I have it pinned actually. I talk about how censorship works in the United States, and I'll kind of go through that. But in this situation with Twitch, the ADL basically went to Twitch, told them, hey, you guys have a bunch of anti-Semitic streamers on your platform. We don't want them on there anymore. And if you guys don't, basically they didn't put this out there, but I already know this is what they probably told Twitch. We're going to put your advertisers, which they did it anyway. And I think that's kind of a response because they wanted harsher penalties on Hassan, because Hassan was the only one that wasn't banned, but a bunch of other pro-Palestinian Twitch streamers were. And that's who the ADL is gunning for right now.
Basically, their golden boy Hassan is someone that has been on the platform for quite some time. He's been there making a lot of moves.
He's their only political commentator.
And he does a lot of stuff for Twitch behind the scenes. Of course, he's cool with the CEO, of course. And as a result...
You want to tell him what you saw at TwitchCon?
Yeah, well, I saw Hassan with the CEO, the streamers as well, that were pretty big name. And, you know, it's almost like if, like, he's big bro with him. You know, like, they're cool friends.
They're actually friends.
And to me, it's like, at that point, you call the shots. I don't like this. I like this. And let's say you're a cause of an issue, you get less penalty because you're cool with the CEO. Now, as a result, though, we've seen people have been blaming it on Hassan specifically. They said, listen, this is only happening because Hassan made those statements, and then they said, hey, you guys are not anti-Semitic.
And for those that are unaware, look, Hassan is, I would consider they call him a socialist. He's a leftist, basically, if I'm going to make it simple. He's a leftist, very fairly woke. But one of the things that he's actually very critical on is Israel and the current conflict going on in Gaza. He obviously doesn't approve of many of the things that Israel is doing to the people in Gaza and the West Bank. He constantly criticized it for being an apartheid state, fucked up, etc. So he talks about a lot of the humanitarian crimes that are going on and
Wasn't
the war
it
crimes
crazy?
going on
You
over there on
defended him
Twitch.
for free speech.
I
And
did.
He came at you trying to push you under the bus as well. I'm
I
like,
did,
bro,
actually.
That's
I did.
insane. You're defending this dude even though he's not one of us.
Actually, yeah, because there's this guy, Richie Torres, this politician, who's been campaigning hard to get Hassan banned.
Torres,
and I actually commented
What a
under his
fucking
thing saying,
clown.
yo, what the fuck is your problem trying to ban an American citizen for valid, criticisms of Israel, and you're trying to impede his First Amendment? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're literally an American politician. You are a servant of the people. How the fuck do you look campaigning to get someone who's an American citizen banned in the United States off an American platform for criticizing a foreign government? You're acting on the behalf of a foreign government against a United States citizen. That's unacceptable. And
Fucking
again,
clown.
I am able to put my feelings aside. I've told you guys before. Me and Hassan don't agree on anything. We've had our arguments and beefs. He's criticized us, we've criticized him, etc. But one thing I will not do is advocate or lobby for someone to get banned just because they have different views than me. I mean, the whole Israel thing is, something that we agree on. We agree on it for different reasons. And I can quickly go into this. Typically, people on the right are critical of Israel because they don't like the foreign influence that Israel wields on the United States and our political infrastructure, versus people on the left typically don't like Israel because of the humanitarian crisis going on in Gaza. Obviously, both parties see that what's going on is horrible, seeing kids get killed every single day over there in Gaza and the mistreatment of Palestinians. But typically, the left, and I'm being very general here, the left criticize Israel for the humanitarian issues and the apartheid state and the lack of looking at the Palestinian people as a people and giving them their own state, versus a lot of people I'm not even going to say the right, because the right typically are all Israel shills. I'm going to say the far right, and I'm using that as a placeholder term. The far right, they're critical of Israel because of their massive influence on our political structure through AIPAC, through lobbying, through donors, etc. So these are the two different ways. And I think this is actually the only issue, by the way, that people on the far left and people on the far right actually agree on, is this Israel situation.
Also, not to call out anybody, but here's a double standard, right? You got Asman Golds and the other lady that's a streamer, the girl that wearing the hijab. They make statements.
Oh,
and they're
Frogan or some shit like that.
They're
Yeah.
banned immediately. Hassan makes the statements, no ban.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And then kind of find out.
And it's funny, he called me an anti-Semite. Bro, he spends more time talking shit about Israel than I do.
Yeah.
Way more. Like, he does 8-9 hour long streams where he's just sitting there just bashing fucking Israel all day.
Yeah. Well,
That's why they hate him so much.
Well, here's the issue though. When you don't, I guess, ban someone like that, guess what they do? They come after your sponsors, your ad companies.
Yep.
And then at that point, they lose money in a hole.
I wrote
So
a whole
wonder
tweet about this, which I'm going to go through with you guys, by the way.
what's the next step for Hassan, because I don't know what they're going to do now, because you lose a
I
sponsorship.
think they're going to ban him.
Money.
They're not going
I
to.
don't think so either, but at what cost though? Because now you got streamers that are making like maybe 10, 5K a month, a day, making 2K less.
A lot of the Twitch streamers are like calling for Hassan to get banned because they're pissed off that they're all kind of suffering. Like, a lot of them are saying, why do we even have political commentators on here? No more politics. Like, I remember dumbass Lacey was talking about, dude, I don't make money. Like, I don't even talk about politics, and I got like, I'm making, like, he was complaining about making 10K. He was making 10K a day at one point, and now he's making 2K a day, and he's crying about that.
Well, you got hold on, you got people like
That Biden economy.
K-San, which is another streamer,
Yeah.
losing all their money because of a flag in their bio.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? A flag in your bio, you lose everything.
Yeah. He had an Iran flag because he's Iranian. Let's play this clip real quick. This is Osman Gold. Or is it Osman Gold or someone else? Okay, let's play the clip and we'll kind of react to it.
Hassan clearly is like one of the biggest proponents of this. I would say he is the biggest proponent to a lot of the contention around the, quote, adpocalypse. He's the main reason why this is, like, 90% of the examples that are being used are him.
Well, is that little shit that made that comment about the Gaza children, that filthy, disgusting, where he had like shit stains all over his room and stuff?
Like, or maybe
This
not
guy's
90,
a
it might be
fucking
80,
clown.
70%. But it's like the majority of all examples on the entire platform are all Hassan. So, yeah, very clearly this is the reason why it's happening. Now, you can say that it's unfair, but that's fine. That's okay. But you can't say it's not happening, or that's not the reason. Hassan clearly is like one of the biggest proponents
That's
of
a clip.
this. I would say he is the
can stop
biggest
it there.
That's the
proponent
clip?
to
Okay.
a lot.
I'm not trying to listen to this shit stain, bro. Yeah, so Hassan, man, he has nearly 3 million followers. Like I said, he's been really close with this guy's been streaming on Twitch for years. 3 million followers. He's made comments that pissed some of the executives off and people who are the ADL and these type of organizations that censor anti-Semitic comments, content, and things of that nature. So he's denied, for example, the sexual violence by Hamas during the attacks of October 7th. He said like Orthodox Jews, or he made a comment saying they're inbred and called a Jewish person a pig dog on one of his streams. Like, the dude's really stretching it. He's even, I would say he's even worse than Candace Owens, right? And which he's never really, he's always made the fact that there's a difference between Jewish people and actual Zionism and Zionist, which is mainly it's really a power economic movement to control the Middle East that was backed by a bunch of Christians. Most of the Zionists are actually Christians, and some people took on a Jewish identity, and aren't even really from that region. So it's a weird, perplexing, and weird thing to call someone a Zionist, because it's a whole, anyone could be like that clown Richie Torres, right? Who takes money from AIPAC to bend over backwards. They bend that dude so far back, man. This dude got his bussy out for AIPAC, bro. Like, they're giving him so much because he shills so hard for Israel. It's unreal, right? So people like Richie Torres would be considered a Zionist. He'd be considered, under that Zionist camp. So it's not necessarily a Jewish thing to be Zionist. It's more of an ideology. But yeah, more than likely Hassan is gonna get. They're gonna start telling him like, hey, man, they're not gonna remove him completely. I believe he's still gonna have a platform, but they're probably gonna start shadow banning him more than likely, because I don't see any of his shit on YouTube anymore at all. So they've already done that on YouTube. More than likely, you're gonna start paying him a little bit less. They're gonna start fucking with the ad revenue and stuff like that. And this is just good for platforms like Rumble and X. All right, I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, these Twitch guys, Twitch and Kick, and all these fucking streamers, these newer streamer sites, like, they're banning and they're taking away people's pages left and right who have a significant following, and these same people are really just taking their talents elsewhere. And there's going to be a mass exodus from both of these companies, and the reality of it is, and they're trying so hard they're pinning so many lawsuits on Rumble. They're trying so hard to gain control of Rumble and X, but it's again, X is not all the way free speech, but it's still much more lenient than Twitch and Kick. Like, if you say the F word on any of those platforms, your fucking account is zapped, it's disappeared, completely gone, right? So more than likely, you're gonna start seeing some of these streamers exit from Twitch and Kick and all these other sites, YouTube and IG, all these places that have been infiltrated by these organizations, right? And they're gonna start setting shop elsewhere, because the thing is, these people have legit followings where people will go and pay to watch their streams, or pay or go and see them at their own personal websites, or their own so they're never gonna lose a following.